All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Thank you for joining me. So yeah, I got to emerge from my basement today. I'm very excited. My kids are at my in-laws for a few days. So hoping that Roxy here cooperates. She usually seems to leave me alone when I teach, but I apologize in advance if not. So today we're going to focus a lot on hips. We're going to be moving a lot, but definitely focusing on the hips throughout a lot of class. The hips are always an interesting place because they say that we hold a lot of our stress in our hips. I don't know that scientifically that's been backed up, but it does seem to correspond to a lot of the things that we've learned in yoga and with the body. And also, so for me, I've been running again lately. And so with running, what it is, the reason we get really tight hips is because of the repetitive movement. It's just constant repetitive movement in the same direction. But it's the same thing actually, whether you're running a lot, walking a lot, if you're sitting a lot, it's the same thing. So if you are working at a computer all day long, or if you have a long commute, like from your living room to your couch, I guess, or whatever that we're doing these days, but we are all sitting a lot more. And I know like my husband works from home and he moves so much less because of that, because again, he's going from the bedroom to the office and he's just sitting so much longer. He's not walking from room to room for different meetings and to go get his lunch and things like that. And so it's that same, even though it's not necessarily movement, it's that same repetitive motion and use of the muscles that we get really super tight in. So I don't know if you guys are feeling that or not, but I thought it'd be a good time to get moving and grooving in the hips today. So if you want to get started, just find a nice comfortable seat, move the flesh away from your sit bones so you're nice and connected, maybe sitting just slightly in front. Sit up nice and tall all the way up through the spine, roll those shoulders back. Take the shoulder points out to both sides and roll the shoulder blades down your back. Maybe close your eyes for just a moment and start to focus in on your breath and set an intention for your class here today. Talk about what we're going to be working on physically, but mentally and emotionally, that is all up to you. So let's start to feel those intentions with some breath. So go ahead and take a nice big deep breath in through your nose and open mouth exhale, letting it all out. Again, big deep breath in through your nose, relax the jaw, sigh it out. One last time, take that big deep breath in and big open mouth sigh, let it all out. Let all that tension go in the jaw. And then lightly close your lips and start to come into your breath for yoga. And remember, wherever you are, if you start to get a little overheated during class, you can always open your mouth, let some of that heat out. All right, let's start by opening our arms up nice and wide. Take the palms to face forward, back to the hands towards the back of the mat, and then just go ahead and keep pressing the hands back. Press them back, and then hug them in. Nice big bear hug. Do it again, open up nice and wide, press back towards the wall behind you, and then take the opposite arm on top. Again, let's open it up. On your exhale, bear hug it in. Open it up, and opposite arm on top. All right, let's now bring your arms out in front into the zombie arms, and then take your right elbow on top of your left, and then go ahead and bend your elbows up. This is an opportunity, if this isn't very accessible to you, you can still take that bear hug we just did, or you can start to take the back of your hands together. Maybe even, it's kind of early, but maybe you can get this full bind taking your palms together. Make sure you take those shoulder blades down your back and then press your elbows away from you. And then go ahead and unwind those eagle arms. Let's take your arms all the way right back out in front. And this time, take your left elbow on top of your right. And again, bending through, either taking your bear hug, back of the hands together, or wrap those palms all the way together. And again, really concentrate on taking the shoulders away from your ears and your elbows out in front of you. And then unwind, let it go. Roll it out. Let's real quick while we're down here, go ahead and bend your knees, stamp your feet into the ground, and we'll just loosen up our hips a little bit more. So cross that right ankle over your left knee, and then flex your right foot and either walk your bottom in towards your foot or your foot in towards your bottom, whatever you need to do to take this a little bit, start to wake up the hips, see what's going on. Don't use your hand here, but try to press that right knee out just a little bit further. All right, go ahead and walk those hips back. uncross your right foot, and then we'll switch it out, crossing your left foot over, flexing through the left foot, using your hands as stability behind you. Either walk your foot in towards your bottom or your bottom in towards your foot, or a nice little friendly combination of both. And then energetically start to draw that left knee away from you. All right, go ahead, scoot on back, release that, and then let's come down to our back. We're gonna do a couple of same things here on our back. So I don't wanna spend too much time before we're moving and grooving here. Let's take a couple of hip circles in one direction. Keep loosening up here. And then go ahead and take those hips in the other direction. And then release your hands from your knees, but leave your knees bent. Flex your feet and draw your calves to be parallel to the earth here. And then bring your hands to your thighs, right above your knee. All right, pull your belly button down into your spine. Take all the curve out of your back. Really draw your abs down. Nice flat back all the way into the mat. Really press down. And then very lightly just start to press your thighs away from you, pressing them up. So you want to take this kind of swooping motion and keep drawing your belly button down towards your spine. And we're just going to wake up those abs with a little bit of abdominal bracing here. And go ahead and release the tension on your thighs. Leave your legs bent. Give your stomach a quick break. And then draw that belly button back down into your spine. Really nice, straight, flat back here. Hands to your thighs, and then a little bit more pressure this time, pressing into your thighs and pressing up towards the sky. Give yourself some tension. Keep your feet flexed. And don't forget to breathe through this. A couple more seconds. And release. Go ahead, leave your feet up right where they are. All right, this time take both hands to those thighs again. Belly button down into your spine, nice flat back all the way down. No curve whatsoever should be getting in there. This time just press your right hand into your right thigh and extend your left leg and you extend your left arm behind you. Keep on pressing onto that right thigh. And then pull it in. We're going to switch it out. So take that left hand, pressing up and in on your left thigh. Extend your right leg out, extend your right arm behind you. And pull it in. All right, go ahead and release those feet on down. That was a nice fun way to start class. While we're down here, go ahead and cross your right ankle over your left knee. Energetically draw that right knee away from you. And then go ahead and thread through. If you can, go ahead and take that right hand through the opening, left hand to the outside of your thigh, and grab onto that left thigh. Flex both feet, and then if this is, if you can do a little bit more, take that right elbow and press your right knee away as you draw your left thigh in towards your chest. We'll just dig right in nice and early into class. And while you're here, keep drawing your belly button down into your spine. Really engage your abs while you're doing this. All right, go ahead and release it and we'll switch it out. Take both feet down to the mat and cross your left ankle over your right knee. Energetically draw that knee away from you and then go ahead and thread on through, wrapping your hands around the outside of your right thigh, flexing through both feet and draw that right thigh into your chest for a supine pigeon or supine figure 4. Engaging through the abs. All right, go ahead and release that down. Let's cross your ankles, rock and roll the length of your spine. Come on right up through a seated position and swing around into our first downward facing dog. We'll get this party started. All right, downward facing dog. Fingers spread nice and wide. Press through the knuckles. Draw the fingertips towards the top of the mat. Press those hips up nice and high and draw the heels down towards the earth. Take whatever movements you need here to wake up your body. Maybe you want to walk your dog a little bit, bending one knee, straightening the other. If you want to take a couple hip dips, whatever feels good here. Or simply just enjoy your first downward facing dog. All right, bend your knees and take a look forward towards the top of your mat. And on your next exhale, journey to the top of your mat into a forward fold. Let's let the crown of your head hang nice and heavy. Draw your hips up towards the sky. If you need to put a bend in your knees this early on, go right ahead so that your hands can hit the floor. Let's come up halfway, lift, bring your hands to your shins. As you inhale, crown of the head towards the top of the mat, sit bones back and apart, and then fold it back down, forward fold. Again, inhale halfway up, and release it down. One more time, inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold it all the way down. This time, go ahead, power through your feet. Inhale, reach all the way up. And exhale your hands down to your heart center. Okay, we're gonna do similar to the ab bracing on the floor. So go ahead and pull everything into the midline. So hips come in, belly button back to your spine. Start to shift the weight to your right foot, come onto your left toes, draw your left knee up, flex through your left foot. Take your left hand to that thigh, reach your right arm up, and then press your hand into your thigh, thigh into hand. And release that down. And we'll switch it out. Shift the weight over to your left, come onto your right toes, draw your knee up, flex the foot. Don't be like me. I always like to stick my left hip up, pull that hip in. Right hand to your right thigh, reach your left hand up, and then press your hand into thigh, thigh into hand. And release it down. Cannot do balance on my left side the same as my right. All right, let's take a couple of sun A's here. So go ahead and press down through all four corners of your feet. Take a nice big deep breath in, open mouth, exhale, let it all out. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, take a plank pose. Hold this plank for just a moment. Draw the crown of your head forward, heel towards the back of your mat, and remember to keep those shoulder blades on your back as you widen through the collarbone. Take another breath in here, and on your next exhale, slowly bend through the elbows, pausing halfway for Chaturanga Dandasana. Come all the way down to your stomach, flip your toes, curl your toes, press up, cobra pose. Exhale, release the cobra, press back up through your plank, and take the hips up, downward facing dog. Bend your knees and look forward, and exhale, journey to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's reach all the way up. Keep your arms extended up. On your exhale, cactus your arms. Open it up. Inhale, reach for the sky. And now hands down to heart center. We'll do it again, adding a little bit on. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, find a plank pose. Hold your plank. In this plank pose, lift your right toes up, take them out to the right, tap your toes down. Bring them back up through center. Take them to the right, tap them down, bring them back. One more time, right toes come out, tap them down, bring them to the center. We have the other side to do. Lift your left toes up, take them out to the left, tap them down. You know the drill. Toes come out, tap down. One more time. And now lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, press up, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, journey to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up, fingers spread nice and wide. Exhale, bend your elbows, open up, shine your heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to your heart center. One more time. Inhale it up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, hold your plank. Keep drawing your belly button up towards your spine. Lift your right toes, tap your right knee to your right elbow. take it back. Left toes come up, left knee to left elbow. Take it back. And lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, press up, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, journey to the top of that mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, reach all the way up. One more time, cactus those arms, open it up. Reach for the sky and hands down to your heart center. All right. So bring your toes together to touch or to almost touch. Ground down through all four corners. And we're going to come into chair pose. So if you are more comfortable with your feet hip distance apart, you are always welcome to do that. Again, making sure we're drawing our belly button in, our hip points in. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, bend your knees, send your fingertips towards the earth, and then sweep those arms up overhead, finding a chair pose. Take your thighs back and apart. Lift your toes, spread them nice and wide, and then place them down onto the mat. And forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling up into your cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, lift your right toes up. Keep them up towards the sky. Turn your toes to face the earth, and then walk your hands back towards your feet for standing splits at the back of your mat. Take your right hip point down so it's in line with your left, and then raise your heel up just a little bit higher. We're going to hold this for a couple of breaths. If you want to play with some balance, you can take one hand to your ankle, maybe the other, maybe both. And then leaving that right leg extended up to the air, go ahead and walk your hands back into a three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, bring it in towards your nose, hold it there, and then place your foot on the earth in between your hands. We're going to rise up, high lunge, sweeping your arms up or crawling them up your thigh. Take a moment here, press your heel back, thigh up. Spin your back foot flat and come into your first warrior two pose. Take a moment, make sure that knee is in line right over your ankle. Get yourself set up for a really nice strong warrior here, drawing your right glute towards your left heel. Keeping all this alignment, flip your right palm and reverse your warrior, pressing towards the back of the mat, really reaching up through the fingertips and then over your ear. Come on back through, warrior two. And we're going to take a modified humble warrior here. So go ahead and bring your hands behind your back, clasp your hands, and send your knuckles down towards the earth. Take a deep breath in here and then exhale. Draw your head towards the upper left corner of your mat. Either pause halfway or go ahead and take that shoulder all the way down to the inside of your right knee. Get those knuckles up towards the sky, crown of the head down towards the earth. Slowly start to pull yourself back up and open up into your warrior two. Windmill your hands, frame your foot, and step back, plank pose. And lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling up into your back bend, and exhale, downward facing dog. Take your left toes up, turn the toes so they're facing the floor, and then walk your hands back towards your right foot, standing split to the back of the mat. Again, take that left hip point down in line with your right, and then raise your heel up just a little bit higher. Maybe play with your balance, taking one hand to your ankle, maybe taking the other. And then leaving the left foot raised, walk your hands back out into a three-legged dog. Draw your left knee in towards your nose, and then plant that foot in between your hands and rise up, high lunge. Spin your back foot flat, Warrior two, left knee is now forward. Pull back through the right hip, and then draw that left glute towards your right heel. Flip your palm, press your hand over your ear towards the back of the mat, reaching through the fingertips. Keep that bend in your front knee, and bring it back, warrior two. Take your hands behind your back, and then take a clasp, opposite thumb on top this time. Straighten your elbows, drawing your knuckles down towards the earth. Take a breath in here, exhale, draw your head towards the top right corner of your mat. Pause halfway, either stay here or continue to draw your head down towards the mat, bringing your shoulder to the inside of that knee. Go ahead and slowly pull yourself back up. Release back into your warrior two. Windmill your hands, frame your foot. Go ahead and take that vinyasa or meet us right in downward facing dog. Bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, hop or step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sweep your hands up, find that chair pose. Remember to take your thighs back and apart here. Take your tailbone down towards the earth. And then rise all the way up and hands to your heart center. All right. Sorry, I just have to pull myself together here. All right, let's take it again. Bring those feet together to touch or to almost touch. When you're ready, bend your knees, send your fingertips down, and then sweep them up, chair pose. In this chair pose, let's take a twist. Take your right arm behind you, left arm forward for an open arm twist in your chair. Bring it back to center and switch it out. Right hand forward, left hand back. Bring it back to center and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it down, step back, plank pose. And lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, press up into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take it again. Right toes come up. Turn the toes to face the floor and then walk your hands back, standing splits at the back of the mat. This time, go ahead and start to stack your right hip on top of your left. Raising your heel up just a little bit higher. And then start to square your hips off, drawing that right hip back down in line with your left, but trying to keep your heel raised. Again, maybe you want to start to play with your balance here, taking one hand to your ankle or calf, maybe switching it out, maybe taking them both. Leaving the right leg raised, walk your hands back out into a three-legged dog. Bend your right knee and then stack your right hip over on top of your left. Keep drawing that knee up towards the sky, heel towards your glute, and be sure to pull up through the left shoulder. Straighten your right leg out, take your right knee, tap your right elbow. Send it back up. Knee comes across, taps the left elbow. Send it back up. And then bring that knee forward, maybe pausing towards the nose, and then drop your foot in between your hands and rise up, high lunge. Spin your back foot flat, warrior two. Let's get a little bit of movement here. Inhale, straighten your leg, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, press back into your warrior two. Let's take it two more times. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, press. One more time, inhaling it up. And exhale, press it down. Let's reach those fingertips towards the top of the mat. Now, go ahead and take the forearm to your thigh, reach your left arm up and reach it over your ear, finding your first side angle pose. Keep reaching through the fingertips and still drawing that right glute towards your left heel if you've lost it. Maybe take those right fingertips down to the earth or to a block. Go ahead, use that side body, pull yourself back up into your warrior two, straighten your front leg, flip your palm, and let's do a reverse triangle here. Leaving that right leg straight, come back through, reach towards the top of the mat, and then tick-tock your arms open into a triangle pose. Take a moment to stack shoulder over shoulder, keep your legs engaged, and then reach your fingertips down to the earth or to a block. Keep your fingertips down on that mat or on your block, and then let's put a bend through that right knee and take your left arm over your ear back into side angle pose. And then pull yourself back up. Windmill your hands, frame that foot, step back, either plank or downward facing dog. If you're in plank, go ahead and take your vinyasa. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. All right, take your left toes up. Walk your hands back towards your right foot, standing splits back of the mat. Again, we're gonna take that little twist here, so stack that left hip over on top of the right as much as you can, raising your heel up towards the sky just a little bit. Now start to square off your hips, drawing your left hip down even to your right as you try to leave that heel raised right where it was. And now go ahead and play with your balance a little bit. All right, leaving the left foot raised, walk your hands back out into your three-legged dog. And then draw that left, we are gonna stack our hips. Bend your left knee and stack your left hip on top of your right, drawing the knee up towards the sky, heel towards your glute. All right, now straighten through that left leg and then draw your left knee, tap your left elbow. Straighten it back up. Left knee comes across, taps the right elbow. Straighten it up. And now bring that knee forward, maybe pausing at the nose before you drop your foot down onto the earth in between your thumbs. Whenever you're ready, find your high lunge. And don't watch me fall out of mine. All right, spin your back foot flat, warrior two. Let's inhale, straighten your leg, reach your arms up. Exhale, press back, warrior two. Inhale, straighten it up. Exhale, press. One more time, reach it up and press it out. Reach those left fingertips towards the top of your mat, bend your elbow, place your forearm on your thigh. Right arm comes up and over the ear, side angle pose. And then if you'd like to, go ahead and take those fingertips down to the earth or a block. Keep pulling up through the right shoulder, twisting your torso, and then pull yourself back up, warrior two. Straighten through the left leg, flip your palm, and reverse your triangle. Bring your arms back through center, reach towards the top of the mat, and go ahead and tick-tock the arms open on this side for triangle pose. Getting all your alignment before you slide your hand down to the earth or to a block. From triangle, put a bend in that left knee. Take your right arm back over your ear, finding your side angle pose. And draw yourself back up. Warrior two, windmill your hands, frame that foot, plank or downward facing dog. All right, bend your knees and look forward. And exhale, come to the top of your mat into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sweep your arms up. Find that chair pose. And rise all the way up. And hands to your heart center. All right, how are we doing on time? Okay. All right, Roxy, I'm gonna need my mat, honey, come on. All right, come on. Okay, good time for a water break if you need one, sorry. All right, let's come standing to the top of our mat. Take your arms out in front like that zombie. Take your right elbow underneath your left. So left elbow on top, right on the bottom. And then either take that bear hug, bring the backs of your hands together, or come all the way around for your full bind. Let's work on our bind first. Get those shoulders away from your ears, elbows out. And then we're going to put a slight bend in our knees. Shift the weight over, let's see here, onto, let's see, our left foot. I'm doing this backwards. Come onto your right toes. Draw your right knee up and over your left. Either take your foot, your toes down for kickstand, up against your calf, or take a full bind and sink down into your eagle pose. Wherever you are, keep drawing your elbows away from you and your shoulders down your back. Keep your arms where they are, unwind your right leg and step it back, finding a high lunge with eagle arms. And release the bind, reach your arms up. Take a breath in here, exhale, reach towards the top of the mat. Inhale it up. Exhale, reach towards the top of the mat. Inhale, rise. One more time, reach it forward, leave it here, shift your weight forward, lift your right toes, come into warrior three. Turn your toes to face the mat and press your heel behind you. And then bring your hands down to the earth for standing splits. Keep your your right hand planted, bring your left hand to your hip. And then slowly start to open your torso towards the left side of your mat. And then reach your left arm up towards the sky, revolved half moon. And bring that left hand down. Hold your standing split one more moment, and then release your feet down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, reach it all the way up, and bring your hands to your heart center. I did the wrong side there, got a little distracted by my Roxy here. All right, we'll do it on the other side. Bring your arms out in front. This time, right elbow comes on top of the left, I believe. And then find your bind, either finding your bear hug, backs of the hands, or palms. Again, let's get your shoulders in place, elbows pointing out, put a slight bend in those knees, shift your weight to your right toes, come up onto your left, draw your knee up, bring it on over, and find a bind with your legs, either bringing your foot down for kickstand, pressing it against your calf, or finding your full bind. Then if you're like me, you lost all of your arms while you did that, so take your shoulders away from your ears and draw your elbows away. Slowly unbind your legs and step that left foot back into your high lunge. And then release the bind, reach your arms up. Take a breath in, exhale, reach your hands towards the top of the mat. Inhale, reach them up. Exhale, draw them forward. Inhale it up. One last time, exhale, fingertips towards the top of the mat, shift your weight to the right foot, lift those left toes, finding warrior three. Work on squaring off those hips and pointing your heel towards the back of your mat. And then bring your hands down to the earth, standing splits. Keep your hips square. Take that left hand slightly out in front, right hand now comes to your hip, and then slowly start to open your torso towards the right side of your mat. And then lift your right arm up to the sky. Revolved half moon. And bring the hands down, standing splits. And release the left toes down, forward fold. Take a moment here, opposite hands to opposite elbows. Let everything hang heavy towards the earth. Maybe sway back and forth. And release the elbows, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Let's inhale, bring it all the way up, and hands down to your heart center. All right, what do we have time for here? Okay, let's keep those feet together to touch or to almost touch. Bend your knees, send your fingertips down towards the earth, reach them up, chair pose. Let's take that open arm twist again, right arm behind you, left hand forward. Keeping this twist, start to shift the weight to your right foot, come onto your left toes, draw your left toes up off of the earth, send them behind you, left hand down to the earth, right hand up, back into that revolved half moon. And find that standing split. Put a bend in your right knee, send your left foot back, runner's lunge. All right, let's see. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot, crawl your right foot over to the right side of your mat. And then drop that left knee down. We're gonna come into a lizard lunge here. So take the top of your foot down or keep your toes curled, whatever works for you. And let's start off by taking our right hand to the knee and pressing it away. Stay here if this is where your hips are. If you'd like to take it further, go ahead and take that right hand back down to the mat and come on down to your forearms, or find a block, find a pillow, find whatever you need to sink into this lizard lunge. If it feels good, come out to the outside edge of your right foot, maybe even from here. You want to press that knee away just a little bit more. Find whatever variation works for you. And then when you're ready, go ahead and press yourself back up. Walk your foot back in towards the center and lift your back knee, but keep both hands to the inside of your right leg. All right, so we're in a runner's lunge with both of our hands to the inside. Lobster claw your right calf with your right hand, and then use the leverage to scoop your shoulder underneath that knee. And then take your hand back down to the mat to the outside of your right foot. Either stay here, or if you'd like an extra challenge, reach your right arm up and out, reach your left arm up and out. And go ahead, take it down, step back, downward facing dog, or take a vinyasa and meet us there. Bend your knees and look forward, and exhale, journey to the top of your mat into that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sweep your arms up, come back into that chair pose. Thighs back and apart, take a breath in here, exhale, right hand forward, left hand back, open arm twist. Keeping this twist, shift the weight to your left foot, come onto those right toes, lift the toes up off of the mat, send your right foot back, right hand down, finding your revolved half moon one more time. Flex through that right foot, make sure the toes are pointing down towards the mat, and spin your torso to the left side of your mat. And release the left hand down, standing splits. Bend to that left knee, take your right toes back, runner's lunge. Walk the left foot to the left side of the mat, both hands come to the inside, and drop that right knee down. Coming into our first phase of lizard lunge here, go ahead and take the left hand to the left knee and just press it away. And then either stay here or find your variation of lizard lunge, maybe coming down to both forearms, coming down to a block, whatever works for you. Again, maybe coming to the outside edge of that left leg, maybe even some combination of everything. And then go ahead and start to press yourself back up. Keep your hands to the inside of your left foot, raise your back knee, but crawl that foot in towards the center of the mat. All right, take your left hand up, lobster claw your calf, and use it as leverage to shimmy your shoulder underneath your knee. And then take your hand down to the mat to the outside of your left foot. Maybe stay here, keep pressing that right thigh up and back. Maybe reach your left fingertips out to the left. Maybe reach your right out to the right. Go ahead and take your hands back down, get your shoulder out from underneath there, and step back, downward facing dog, or
step back to plank, take a vinyasa, and meet us there. Bend your knees and look forward. On your exhale, step wide onto your mat, taking your feet to the outsides of your hands, setting up for Malasana squat. So take your feet as wide as your sticky mat, put a bend in those knees, and bring your hands to your heart center. Maybe this feels like a resting pose right now. If not, go ahead and grab a pillow or grab a block, something if you need a little extra oomph underneath the bottom. Wherever you are, try to sit up nice and tall and take those shoulders away from your ears. Press your elbows into your knees, knees into your elbows. And just take a couple breaths here. All right, go ahead and take your hands down to the mat and straighten through your legs, coming into a wide forward fold. Okay, a couple options here. We can play with crow. You can come back into a Malasana squat if you would like. You can grab some pillow or some block or something to put in front of you if crow is not something regularly in your practice. If it is, go ahead and take your hands down flat to the ground, bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands flat to the ground. Palms are in front of your big toes and slightly to the inside. All right, bend your knees, take those knees, shift all the weight into your hands, bend your knees, take those knees to the outsides of your arms, right at the armpits. Keep all the weight in your hands. Lift one toe, maybe lift the other, maybe lift them all, finding your crow pose. If it's in your practice, you can shoot right back into a plank. Otherwise, bring your toes down, coming back into a Malasana squat. If you're in plank, press up to downward facing dog and step forward into Malasana, meeting us there. And let's take those hands down and straighten the legs, coming back into that wide-legged forward fold. Inhale it up, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Let's inhale, come all the way up, and bring your hands to your heart center, toe heel yourself back together, grab a sip of water, do whatever you need to do to pull it together. Running out of time here. I do want to keep digging into the hips. Let's see here. So I'm going to take us into a frog pose. Sometimes you need an extra blanket for your knees or for your feet for this if you're not on carpet. So just make sure you have something available for when we get there if you need it. All right. For the time being, let's inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale it up, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, find a plank pose. Hold this plank. Maybe lift your right toes, tap your right knee to your right elbow. Take it back. Lift the left toes, left knee comes to your left elbow. Take it back. And lower down through your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, press up, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And come on down to your knees into a tabletop position. Okay, so for frog pose, I'm gonna come long ways on my mat, even though I have both. So you might wanna do the same so that your feet and your knees are on the mat. You can always roll your mat for some extra support on your knees if you need it. For me, it's actually my feet because I have bunions and it hurts on the hard floor, but I'm on carpet here. Okay, so we take our feet out a little bit wider. We wanna get the inside edge of our feet down towards the mat. And the goal is to sink our hips back and really dig into those hips for frog pose here. All right, so do what you need to do to get comfortable. For some people, doing this against the wall helps a lot, but without having a studio, I'm not sure if you have a wall available. Again, just do what works for you. And if this is terribly uncomfortable, you can come to your stomach, bend one knee up and do half frog on one side, and then switch it out, doing half frog on the other. Not the most pleasant pose for most people, but it really does the job. I'm pretty tight from running again. I can't get back as far as I usually can. which is why I need this more. And I'm thinking maybe you do too. All right. If this has been enough for you, go ahead and start to bring it back up. Pull yourself back into a neutral tabletop position. If you went long ways on your mat, unfold that mat, come back around to your normal position. And whenever you're ready, take those knees back a couple inches and press up, downward facing dog. Okay, downward facing dog, let's lift those right toes up. Bring your right knee, tap your right elbow. Straighten back up, three-legged dog. Knee comes into the nose. Straighten it back up. Knee comes across, taps the left elbow, and then straighten your right leg through that opening in between your left hand and your left foot. Come onto the nice edge of your back foot. Bring your hand up to your hip, hips up towards the sky, and then take that left hand up for a twisted plank. If you'd like to deepen this, you can take those right toes up towards the upper left side of your mat. Maybe reach your hand down towards those toes, plug everything into the hip, and lift your toes up. Or just stay in twisted plank. If you've lifted those toes, go ahead and let them down. Bring your left hand down to the mat, and we are going to keep on sliding through into fallen sage. So keep sliding, your right leg down until your right hip comes down, okay? And then turn your torso towards the top of the mat. Okay, if this is enough, stay here. If you have more, you can come down onto your forearms. If you have more, I don't, but if you have more, go ahead and take your arms out to both sides, bringing your chest fully down onto the mat. And then I guess you would look over towards your right hand for the full twist. I believe some people call it Bridget's cross or Brigitte's cross. I know it is fallen sage. Wherever you are in this position, slowly start to bring yourself out of it, coming onto your palms, turning your back foot so that you're on the ball of your left foot and using your core to slide your right leg back through and up. However gracefully or non-gracefully you got there, let's bring it back into a downward facing dog, because we have the other side to do. So when you're ready, left toes come up, left knee taps that left elbow. Three-legged dog, draw the knee in towards the nose. Straighten it back up, knee comes across, taps the right elbow, and then straighten that leg through in between the right hand and the right foot. Come onto the nice edge of your back foot, bring your right hand to your hip, send your hips up towards the sky, and then reach your right arm up for your fallen triangle or twisted plank. Again, if you want to take that variation, take a look down at your left toes, bring them towards the top corner of your mat, reach down with your right hand, and then draw those toes up and away. If you've taken that variation, drop those toes ever so gently back down, reach your arm back up, and then take that right hand, everybody, down to the mat. Let's keep on pressing that left foot all the way to the right until your hip comes all the way down to the earth. Square off your shoulders so they're nice and even to that top edge of your mat. And then either stay here if this is enough, or maybe play around, coming down onto your forearms, maybe coming all the way down to your chest. Big twist here, big hip, big IT. All right, wherever you are, start to press yourself back up, coming first onto your palms, coming to the ball of your back foot so you can press yourself up and slide that foot back through and around, reaching it up, and toes come down. Take a moment here in this downward facing dog. Take those hips all the way up towards the sky and then press your heels down towards the earth. Bend your knees and look forward, and exhale, journey to the top of your mat. finding a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's come all the way up and bring your hands to your heart center. Grab a sip of water if you need it. And when you're ready, come back to the top of your mat. Find a nice, strong, steady Tadasana, taking those shoulders out to both sides, shoulder blades down your back, drawing your abs up and in, tailbone down towards the earth. Inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it back down, and then we're gonna come into a standing, no, we're not actually, sorry. Take your left foot back, right foot forward for runner's lunge. Sorry about that. All right, runner's lunge here. Let's sink those hips down a little bit lower in this lunge. Keep drawing the hips down, but still take that thigh up. Press down through your right foot and now step up, standing splits, left foot raises. Bend through the right knee, step it back, runner's lunge. We'll do that 2 more times. Press through your right foot, lift your left toes up, standing splits, and runner's lunge. 1 more time, standing splits, left foot raises, and runner's lunge. Crawl your hands to the inside of your right foot. Keep on taking them towards the left side of your mat, spinning both feet flat for a wide-legged fold, facing the left side of your mat. Go ahead and come up onto your fingertips for halfway lift, and then exhale, sink it all the way down, taking the crown of your head towards the earth, hips up towards the sky. Keep pressing evenly through both feet. We're not going to be here too long. Take those hands to the hips, elbows pointing up towards the sky. Inhale, rise up. Take those toes together just a little bit closer, and then turn your toes at a 45-degree angle facing the left corners of your mat. We're going to come into a goddess squat. So we want our knees in line with our toes. So bend through the knees and then adjust your feet as you need to so that your knees are in line right over your ankles. All right, and when you're ready, bring your hands to heart center, sink your hips down just a little bit lower. Inhale, straighten up, come into 5-point star. Exhale, bend your knees, bend your elbows, goddess pose. On this goddess pose now, keep all of this alignment, come onto your tippy toes, raising your heels. Take your heels back down. Inhale, stand up star. Exhale, bend your elbows, bend your knees, goddess. Hold your goddess, come up onto your tippy toes, raising your heels. Heels come down, inhale, star. 1 more time, bend your elbows, bend your knees, and now come onto your tippy toes, balanced goddess. Take your heels down, bring your hands down to the mat, walk your hands back towards your front of the mat, coming back into your runner's lunge. Come to the ball of your left foot, everything pointing forward. And then step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back, runner's lunge. Just like on the other side, we're going to sink our hips down just a little bit lower, but then reach up with the right thigh, and reach back with the right heel. Press through that left foot, raise your right toes up, standing splits, top of the mat. And step it back, runner's lunge. 2 more times if you're with me. Press through the left foot, right toes come up, standing splits. And reach them back, runner's lunge. 1 more time, standing splits. And runner's lunge. All right, we're gonna come into that wide-legged fold here. So walk your hands to the right side of your mat. Spin your left foot flat. Bring your right toes to meet it. So you're in a wide-legged, opposite of what I said. Either way, you know what we're doing. Wide-legged fold facing the right side of your mat. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips, and exhale, fold it down. Take a couple breaths here, pressing evenly through both feet. And really keep drawing the hips up towards the sky, crown of the head down towards the mat. Bring your hands to your hips, elbows pointing up towards the sky. Inhale, rise back up. Let's bring those feet in just a little bit closer, and then turn the toes. again at those 45-degree angles. And let's test it out. Bend your knees, get all your alignment here however you need to so that your knees are in line with your toes and right over your ankles. When you have it, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, straighten up, 5-point star. On your exhale, bend your elbows, bend your knees, come back into your goddess squat. Hold this goddess squat and come up onto your tippy toes, raising your heels. Heels come down, straighten up, 5-point star. And lower down, goddess pose. On the toes. Heels come down, straighten up, star. Again, big breath in here, exhale, bend the elbows, bend the knees, sink it down, and then come up onto the toes, lifting your heels. Heels come down, 5-pointed star. Oh, I think I did that one too many. Okay, bend your elbows, bend your knees, just straight up goddess pose. And then bring your hands, I don't know what I'm doing, back down to the earth. Walk your hands over towards the top of the mat, spinning onto the ball of your right foot, finding your runner's lunge again. That was a little clunky, guys. Sorry about that, but I got us there, right? Step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, bring it on up. Bring your hands together. Give yourself a round of applause. And hands down to your heart center. All right. Grab a sip of water if you need it. We're going to do some balancing here. Hopefully we're nice and open here, feeling a little bit more fuel in the tank, right? Feet hip distance apart when you are with me. Press down through all 4 corners of those feet. And again, really work on this part of your body right here, your core, this whole part right here, squeezing those hips into the midline, belly button to your spine, tailbone down towards the earth. Get lots of stability there. And then shift the weight to your right foot, come onto the left toes, and draw that left knee up. Okay, take that ankle, cross it over your knee, and open up into a standing figure 4. So before we do anything else, get all your alignment here, flexing through that left foot, keeping the core engaged, and then slowly bend through the right knee, taking it down. Take it as low as you can. And we're going to try to do a baby cradle from here and standing up with it. So if you cannot hook your elbow to your foot and your knee, you can always take your hand underneath your calf or take as much of it as you can. If you're with me, go ahead and take that elbow to the sole of your right foot, elbow to your knee, and take a clasp. When you're ready, inhale, stand it up. And then slowly bend to the knee, bring that baby back down. Try to keep it crossed. Don't watch me fall out of it. Stand back up. And then uncross the ankle, bring the foot down, and shake it on out. All right, we got another side to do. A couple options for that baby cradle. Again, if you can't do that, you can always take your hands underneath the calf and just lift it straight up if you can't take the full bind, okay? All right, draw everything into that midline. Shift the weight to your left foot, come onto the right toes, and bring that right knee up. Cross your right ankle over your knee and open up into your standing figure 4. Either stay here or start to bend through your left knee into a one-legged chair. Take this as far as the side will let you go, being mindful of your balance, being mindful of your core, and then find your variation of your baby cradle and bring it on up. And then very slowly bend through the knee and bring it back down. Release it. And come on back up and release the ankle and shake it on out. Whew. All right. So lots of options here. If you want to keep on playing, take whatever variation of that you just did, or maybe try to take it one step further. If you'd like to try Ekapada Galvasana, it's an arm balance. So I will demonstrate that for you. I think most of you have seen me do it before, but I'm not sure. I'm going to do it from this side. So in Ekapada Galvasana, we're going to do, I'm going to do my right leg over. I think that's my better one. We're going to do that same standing figure 4. And you want this ankle up as high as you can. And that's part of why we did that baby cradle. So we bend through, and then you might want to adjust a little bit, getting it all the way up as high as you can. Keep bending through your standing leg, and then take your hands down to the mat, and then crawl them out a little bit further than you think you might need to for this, not as close as we were in crow. And then chaturanga, your arms, bending your elbows back, and then place your leg across both forearms. The important part here is flexing your top leg and really hooking the foot in. So you want to press the top of the foot into the forearm as much as you can. Lean forward like we did in crow, and then maybe lift your back toes, maybe straighten your back leg. Okay. So I don't know if you were with me or not on that, but if not, let's all try it. Or take the baby cradle, take whatever version you want. So we'll start with the weight on our right foot. All right. So shifting the weight to your right foot, come onto your left toes, draw your left knee up. Take your standing figure 4. Start to bend through your right leg. Maybe take your hand down. If you want to take the baby cradle option, now you can do it, or just simply take your foot up a little higher on that thigh. Really flex through the left foot. Bend through as much as you can. Take your hands to the mat. Get them nice and flat. Walk them out a little bit further away. And then really bend through the elbows, bend through the knee until you're resting on your elbows. Flex that foot, draw it into the arm as much as you can. Lean forward, and then lift your back toes. Maybe straighten. And when you're done playing, come on up and try the other side. I've already done both. Go ahead and take a moment. Try the other side. See how far you can take it. One side might be different than the other. You never really know. All right. And whenever you're ready, we're gonna meet back on our seats. If you'd like to take a final vinyasa to get there, you can. If you're already on the ground, stay on the ground. Whatever works for you and your practice and your body. I like to even it all out with one last nice vinyasa. So I'm gonna take a nice big deep breath in and reach my arms all the way up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into your last plank pose. Bend your arms, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, cobra or up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. And release down to the mat, swing your legs around, come onto a seat. What do we got here? All right. Let's do a Janu Sirsasana. I think this always feels really good after a class like this. So straighten through your left leg, bend your right knee, and take the bottom of your right foot, press it into the left thigh. Take a moment here, move the flesh away from your sit bones. Sit up really nice and tall, flex that left foot, draw your toes towards your knee, and press that left thigh down into the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up, turn your torso to face over that knee, and on your exhale, reach towards the top of the mat. Keep a nice long spine, just keep reaching here, keep reaching, and then slowly release the hands down wherever they land, but continue to reach with the crown of your head towards your toes, and then exhale, sink it down into this fold. Try to keep a nice long spine here. Hi, Roxy. No matter how far down you go, just keep a long spine. And then go ahead and walk your hands back up. Let's just keep this leg bent, but move it away from your leg, and then bend through your left knee and find a Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of both feet together, grabbing for the ankles, the feet, or the calves, pulling the feet in as close or as far away as you need to. Take a nice deep breath in, and then exhale, draw your knees down towards the earth. We won't take a fold at this point. We'll do it again after the other side. And then we're gonna leave our left leg bent, release the knees, and let your right leg go long. Bring the bottom of that left foot onto your right thigh. And again, sit up nice and tall. If you need to shimmy around a little bit, shift around, whatever works for you. But then let's get all that engagement in your long right leg here. Inhale, reach your arms up, turn your torso over that knee, and then exhale, reach it forward. And just keep reaching. Don't release that reach. Don't release the leg. Just keep reaching. And then release the hands down, but keep reaching with that crown of the head towards your toes. And then on your next exhale, sink down, keeping all that length. And then release that fold, crawl your hands back up. We're gonna just slightly move the left foot away again, bend the right knee, take the soles of the feet together, coming back into Baddha Konasana. Take a moment to find where you want your feet to be in relation to your body. Sit up nice and tall, and then exhale, draw your knees down towards the earth. Either stay here if you'd like to add a forward fold into this, take a deep breath in, and then exhale, take your heart towards your toes or towards your dog's butt. Okay, Roxy, really? Move. Thank you. All right, sit it back up. Release both feet long in front of you. Flex your toes. Again, draw those thighs down into the mat. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, reach them forward. Keep reaching, reaching, reaching. And then release your hands down wherever they are. And sink your stomach down into your thighs. And then pull it back up. Come on down onto your backs. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug in. All right, we're gonna do one of my favorites, our hips. We've done tons of hips. This should be pretty, hopefully feel pretty good at this point. We're gonna do cow face legs on our back. Roxy, please give me 5 more minutes. So come onto your backs, bend your knees again, flexing through your feet. And then cross your right knee on top of your left. And we want to reach for our feet. So at first, if we can't do that, you're going to draw your feet towards you as much as you can. Maybe take your hands to your legs here and use that leverage to draw them in. And then maybe if you get a little closer, you can wrap your hands around to the bottoms of your feet. Keep both feet flexed and keep trying to take your tailbone down towards the earth. I don't know if you can see the way I am or not. I'll go this way. So keep drawing your belly button to your spine here and taking your tailbone down as you pull your feet in towards you. All right, let's release it and do the other side. So release your feet, come back around, bending through both knees, flexing both feet. This time take your left knee on top of your right. And then draw both feet towards you. You can start by taking your hands to your knees, to your calves, whatever you can, and pulling those legs a little closer in, and then maybe working your hands down to your ankles. Maybe you can already get your feet. If you were like me and you had to curl up a little bit to get your feet, once you have them, make sure you take that tailbone back down towards the earth. And then keep drawing the feet in towards you. I like this one even better than Happy Baby. All right, release the feet, bring them back, unwind, pull those knees into your chest. Let's take a couple of hip circles here. And then take them the other way. All right, we have time for one last pose here. So we've done a ton of hips. So Happy Baby, or for me, I really like Supta Baddha Konasana at this point. So whatever works for you and your body, listen to what it needs. For me, I'm gonna take the insides of my feet together, and I'm gonna slowly let my knees open out to both sides, bringing the soles of my feet together, hand on my stomach, hand to my heart, and just let gravity sink me down a little bit. If this isn't active enough for you, go ahead and take a Happy Baby pose. Maybe rocking back and forth from side to side, maybe straightening one leg, straightening the other, or just sink in. If you're in Baddha Konasana and you'd like to stay here for your final resting pose, please do so. If you'd like to straighten out your legs, take the back of your hands, let your palms face up, and come into traditional Shavasana. Please take a moment to do that. Or maybe for you, you like to just sit in meditation. Wherever you can be at peace, wherever you can take a moment to do a nice big body scan, see where you are now compared to the beginning of class, and release whatever tension you're still holding on to. Maybe it's in your hips, maybe it's in your jaw, your forehead, your ankles, your fists, wrists, wherever it is. Notice it. Take note. Take a big deep breath in. Exhale, open mouth, let it all out, and release that tension wherever it is. Start to bring yourself back into your room, back onto your mat. Notice the sounds around you, the light, any movement. Start to make small movements yourself, bringing awareness all the way back through your body, wiggling fingers and toes and wrists and ankles. If you're in Baddha Konasana, take your knees back together. If you're in Shavasana, draw your knees up, and everyone bring them into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug in, and then gently roll to one side using your arm as a pillow. Slowly start to press yourself up into a seated position, drawing your hands to your heart center, and taking one last moment here to check in with your mind, with your body, with your soul, with your intentions. Thank you so much for sharing your morning with all of us here today. We greatly appreciate all the love and support, and as always, the fact that you're doing something good for yourself. The light and love in me honors the light and love in each and every one of you. Happy Thursday. Namaste.